a survey, a random sample of 250 adults were asked to fill in a questionnaire. It was found that 102 travel by bus. Find an approximate 90% confidence interval for the proportion of all adults who travel by bus. So let's say P is the proportion of adults who travel by bus. We need to find a 90% confidence interval for P. Let's say P is the proportion of all adults who travel by bus. Then the estimator or estimate P hat here is given by 102 over 250. This is the proportion, the sample proportion of adults who travel by bus. And then the sample proportion of adults who do not travel by bus, that would be 250 minus 102 over 250. And that should give us a value of 148 over 250. We need to find a 90% confidence interval. Alpha is 0.1, then alpha over 2 is 0.05. The 90% confidence interval for the proportion of all adults who travel by bus, that is given by P hat plus minus, we have Z, the critical value, at 0.05, and then we have square root of P hat Q hat over N. P hat is 102 over 250, and the critical Z value, we can find this value from the standard normal table, the critical standard normal table, and we have 1.645. Here 1.645 times the square root of P hat, that is 102 over 250, Q hat, which is 148 over 250, all over 250. That gives us 102 over 250 plus minus. We should get a value of 0.0511312299. That is the exact value from the calculator. The confidence interval to three significant figures is from 0.357 to 0.459. That gives us the confidence, 90% confidence interval. Part B, the survey included a question about the amount X dollars spent on travel per year. So N is 250. The total amount spent on travel a year is 50,460. This is the sum of squares. Find an unbiased estimate for the population mean and an unbiased estimate for the population variance of the amount spent per year on travel. For part B here, the unbiased estimate for the population mean is the sample mean. So sample mean is the sum of X over N, and we have 50,460 over 250. That is $201.84. Unbiased estimate for the population variance, that is the sample variance. And we can just use the formula in the formula sheet, or you can just remember this. That would be 1 over N minus 1, sum of X squared minus the square of the sum of X over N. N is 250, that should give us 249. Sum of X squared is this amount here, minus the square of 50,460 over 250. that should be 38,832.75. And this is a variance, so the unit would be square dollars. A counselor wanted to select a random sample of houses. He planned to select the first house of each of the 143 streets. Explain why this would not provide a random sample. For a sample to be random, each houses must have an equal chance of being selected to be in the sample, but he's only selecting the first house of each of the streets. What about the second, third, fourth, and the last house? Those do not have a chance of being selected. In this case, the sample is not random.